So yes, pressing on into the tortured past of our protagonist. What secrets is he hiding? Or what secrets are he hiding? No, what secrets is he hiding? I do worry that this Let's Play will not be... Oh! There, Skyrim coming back to bite me there. I thought it was a bear trap, but it is a steering wheel. Well, we're seeing an awful lot of driving motifs here, aren't we? Why would there be a bear trap on that? Off the coast of Scotland?
I had kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Rendered opaque? That is an interesting way of saying that someone has died.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
Good lord. What? Although you know, this is a game, I do actually feel a sort of trepidation to leaning over that too much. That's a damn good graphic, as it were. My hat goes off to the visuals, well, to everything. This may not be a game in the true sense of the word. It's not there to be played.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
Well, it may not be a game in that, you know, that, well, what is a game, I suppose? It's something to be won, maybe? Role-playing games definitely are not necessarily there to be won. Yeah, like a sort of petri dish-esque thing from surgery. What's that, bottle of anaesthetic, maybe? This is, in a way, I suppose I could compare it to Myst, except for the lack of course, static 2D visuals. This music is better than what you get in a lot of TV shows. It can. But for whom?
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Someone migrated here from Scandinavia. I'm guessing this must be the Hebrides. That is a guess. It certainly was known. More of these runes that only seem to show up in almost like a phosphorescent. If you shine a light on them, they're not as visible. Glow in the dark style. Wonder if the soundtrack is available to this. This is going to sound really odd, but this is really the sort of game I just feel like I want to show people. I didn't know that that would be the case before starting to play. I have no wish to hurl myself off the cliff, but just the appearance of it, the innovation behind it. Nearly slipped and fell. See, I'm talking about it as if it's actually there.
Three cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
I am beginning to wonder as to our protagonist's motives. I do not necessarily feel that they are necessarily bright and optimistic. Perhaps at some point he had come here to find some manner of resolution or some kind of meaning. But I don't necessarily feel, as he pointed out in his first letter, he has been to this place many times now. I'm not sure that he ever found a reason, and maybe he has come out here to spend the last of his time. We don't know how old he is. We don't know his physical state. Or mental state, for that matter. You'll have to excuse if I am not as jokey or jovial with this Let's Play. It's an odd game.
He left his body to the medical school and was duly opened out for a crowd of students 21 days after his passing. The report is included in my edition of his book. The syphilis had torn through his guts like a drunk driver, scrambling his organs like eggs on a plate. But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones. He's likely to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use makes him an unreliable witness, I find myself increasingly drawn into his orbit.
To whom is he referring? Presumably not Jakobsen. Was it Donnelly? Was he the other? Yeah, he did say that he was... Well, he implied that he'd been talking to someone called Donnelly. Is there another inhabitant of this island? Right now, I could really be doing with John Locke, and I'm not talking about the philosopher.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot. But he is proving an unreliable witness.
I will presume then that Donnelly is a man who was riddled with illness and had the kidney stones upon his death. Or maybe our character is Donnelly and perhaps he is speaking from post-mortem. As I say, just the step-ups, just stepping over these rocks.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
I think I've become completely aware now of what's the main, what our character's intentions are. Walking around on a broken femur. That takes some doing. On one hand, I would expect to have more of a limp. But on the other, why take away from narrative? Well, definitely Hebrides then. It's a lot of books. To what end? Maybe a map of some variety? Yeah, I'm glad there is no map in this game. I think for there to be one would, in a way, cheat the exploration. This feels like... well, it feels like walking around in this environment. The cave then, I'm guessing. I do hope I'm not supposed to have been noting any of the runes down. My candle, perhaps? Flickering gently. Wow. Someone... oh! Okay, well if my femur wasn't broken before... yep, I think there it goes.
Did Jakobsen crawl this far? Can I identify the scratches his nails ruined into the rocks? Am I following him, cell for cell, inch for inch? Why did he turn back on himself and not carry through to the ascent?
My... oh my. You may... colour me impressed. My torch is broken, but it doesn't seem that I need it. What all this phosphorescent lighting? No reflection. Am I even here? I have played games with very good graphics before now. Of course I have. I've played Skyrim, Metal Gear Solid 4, Metro 2033. I do hope that the video that ends up on YouTube does this justice. I do hope I'm not going past things too fast. There's just so much to take in. So do we go up there? Let's go into the wide cabin.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
Very grim. As I say, I have suffered the loss of someone via that method. Very violent and undeserving end. Far too violent. Let's go for it, I think. Let's go. Actually, you know what? This is for you, Brady. You love the views in Skyrim. That is beautiful. You can practically feel the water on your face. Where does that water flow to, I wonder? Is it the spring that we saw earlier? Maybe it flows straight out to the sea. I expect that it's fresh water. Pretty magnificent. Here we are again. I think that's down there is the way we came, so we'll have to see whether we can get around. I think we can go up. It's more difficult than it looks to stay on these slippery surfaces. Our way is lit by candlelight, my friends. Let's keep going. That must really hurt on a broken femur. Although I don't know what painkillers I managed to salvage from the trawler.
I'm traversing my own death throes. The infection in my leg is an oil rig that dredges black muck up from deep inside my bones. I swallow fistfuls of diazepam and paracetamol to stay conscious. The pain flows through me like an underground sea.
Sorry, that entire thing was because that little tunnel reminded me of the end of the Tom Baker Doctor Who episodes. Hey, there it is. Yeah, if this was a role-playing game, I'd be mining that quartz like crazy. That's a lot of paper boats. Creepy. This game does make you think. I suppose when you're wandering and there's not much else to do but listen and, well, look and listen. No monsters to kill, no other beings to speak to, all you really can do is think. Phosphorescence, are they natural? Have I painted all of this? And if so, what does it mean? Wow. Let's go this way.
This is a drowned man's face, reflected in the moonlit waters. It can only be a dead shepherd who has come to drunk drive you home.
Look at that. I like that there are multiple routes. I like that there is replayability here, arguably. You would be able to behold Damascus taken, maybe? I should really put my glasses on. What's this, like? Is that natural? Is it? That's obviously not. Looks like a blueprint to a car on the other side. Maybe that's nerve synapses and so forth. It's all very ritualistic. I keep seeing the word Damascus painted on the walls. It looks like the rocks are bathed in blood. I like that we would get the full story, if we could even ever get the full story, unless we went every possible way in this game, you know, unless we played it more than once. Because I think to backtrack just to trigger certain bits of dialogue would be cheating ourselves. I don't feel that is the way this is supposed to work. I feel we're supposed to be on a journey and take the protagonist wherever it is he needs to get to. Is this a game? I'm not sure, but I do appear to be playing it. So I suppose, in a sense, it must be. My delight at seeing all of these things. Acts 22... not sure if that's a biblical thing. Someone is a Christian that watches this channel will have to enlighten me. I think, yeah. Hello. Okay, we can read a bit about the paint then. Oh, there you go. Aqua-based. Probably for the best. I think it's good. Yep. And down we go. Oh, and yeah, I'm guessing that is the M5 where the accident happened. Very good way of segueing into a dream. Into a flashback. Okay, I'm a bit disorientated. Oh, there we go. I want to know, you know, why my character is here and why he's doing what he's doing. I want to know about Esther and the car crash and so on. Hopefully we will find out some kind of truth.